I forgot. Oh, I need my light on. All right, sorry. I totally spaced. It's so weird, you know, with the holidays mess everything up, get you out of your normal routine. So I apologize. Yeah, I'm sure I'm sure you're like, oh, Tom hits 100,000, he doesn't need us anymore. It's not true. And we may have to we can create a secret attack plan. Bruce wants to get me to 200,000 by the end of the year. Now, there is some truth to the fact that you do tend, it does tend to accelerate. I don't know if it's a situation where once you're verified, that all of a sudden YouTube starts giving you more cred and more promotion. There may be some of that. One of the things I'm looking forward to is having that little check next to my name, so that when I comment on other videos, that people are like, wait, who's this guy? Why is he commenting? You know, like on Rick Beato, I might be able to get more. But hey, San Francisco. Hey, Keith, how's it going? Hey, Alice, good to see you. Sam and Pepper. Oh, you're working on Greensleeves. It's such great. That's public domain, so I don't have to worry about doing it. What's interesting, though, there's two opinions or two different melodies on that. Let's see. That, I think, is the one from Lassie with F sharp, which is weird because there's an F chord in it. So, and thanks to Bruce for texting me to remind me. So we've got family. I got my daughter's here and her boyfriend. I was just talking to her boyfriend, and so I just lost track of time. And I normally get notifications, but I have my phone's on not even stun. It's on like don't wake me up mode. So don't vibrate, don't do nothing. So I didn't see it. Oh, and we have. Okay, hopefully not everybody's online. Okay, it went there a little bit. I'm a half step sharp. Oh, yeah, I've heard that. I've heard it played that way though before. So I actually have a version written that way, with an F sharp as a melody. So I have a couple versions of it in two different ways. So I don't think there's consensus on it. One would be pseudo-Lydian and one would be, pseudo Dorian. But again, if A minor, it goes to F chord. So although it goes to E major, so it's kind of like E harmonic minor. But you can make the argument that it's melodic minor, which I'm going to give you a little theory lesson. There won't be a quiz on this, okay? There won't be a quiz on this, so don't worry. But everybody take a sip, because we got, Greensleeves. Oh, man, I'm out of coffee. This is bad. But and I got the song here. We're gonna pare this down. Remember, I simplified the harmonic structure, so we're gonna do that. I'm gonna start tracking. We're gonna start tracking our song. Paul Meyer. Good to see you, Paul. So A minor is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. A harmonic minor is G sharp instead of G. So it's, okay, and the reason, that gives you a stronger 5-to-1 cadence. In A minor, the 5 chord is E, but in A harmonic minor, the 5 chord is E major. So E minor to A minor, while it's a 5-1 cadence, and there's some resolve there. Well, we got everybody on board. Oh, okay. Let me do that. I'll do it, Dennis. I'll pin the Discord link. Yeah, 'cause we got a lot of new people here. But if you go E to A minor, it's a lot stronger. So we have, hey, Richard Russell. Hello, world. Okay, let me grab this. Let me grab this Discord link. Copy. Paste. Send. Pin. Working and lurking. And then a melodic minor scale accommodates that 5 chord, and that's much stronger. Spanish music, a lot of flamenco music, uses that modulate or that scale, and it definitely has kind of more of a world music kind of sound to it. Now, the interesting one is when you study classical guitar, one of the things you have to do every day, pretty much, I was talking about this the other day, are Segovia scales. We haven't done these. I don't really feel like there's a lot of use for Segovia scales other than for classical guitar music. And even then, I don't see them used very often. But it was a good discipline. It was a good way to learn scales. And it was a good way to learn the fretboard. It was a good way to learn fingerings. I mean, it's so many variations that you would do when you were doing Segovia scales. Just insane. But so you would do, there were 24 Segovia scales, 12 major, 12 minor, and the minors you would do what's called melodic minor. Okay, melodic minor is really interesting. It's a raised 6th and 7th degree. The 6th and 7th notes are raised a half step, but then on the way back they're put back where they belong. So it sounds like this. It's like, okay, why? Well, the reason is because when you're going up, you tend to have leading tones, and when you're going down, you tend not to need those leading tones as much. And so it really kind of opens up. You've got it starts out like all of them are all the same, A, B, C, D, E. But then when you get to F, you basically have a chromatic. You could have every note in the, available there. But when we do Segovia scales, it's like this, and let's see, I can get to it. Okay. See there? So it's melodic minor and regular natural minor is what it's called. So there's 3: natural minor, harmonic minor, melodic minor. Now, there's others too, but those are the 3 main ones. Okay. Oh, Diane is here. Joseph Finley's here. Win is here. Got a lot of people. So maybe Bruce, I should start at 9:30 every day, every Monday. Sorry, I'm so sorry. With Christmas and Christmas Eve, we had so many Christmas. I was exhausted after all our Christmas Eve services, rehearsals, and all that stuff. And then with family in town, in the house, normally it's just me in the house. Beth is at work, and it's just me working. And I just, too many distractions. So I apologize for being late. Oh, yeah, that's right. I saw the snow at the Seattle Seahawks game. That was unusual. My daughter just moved, and she's here now, but she just moved to Spokane, Washington from Joplin, Missouri. So she's getting more snow than she's used to. So we've been talking about songwriting, and we started writing the song, and originally, this is actually a really good... I'm actually modeling often how this is done. Now, technically, I would tell you right now, this is like 90% crafted and about 10% art, but art always comes into play. So, we talk about, we talk about this here, and there's probably other synonyms we can use for this. Bruce is here. Is Holly here? Dennis, are you here? Oh, no, Dennis is here because he's the one that said pin the Discord link. And join the Discord group. Right now, because of the subject matter, I'm not creating a lot of content that I'm uploading to Discord. But what I might do is when I've got some of this recorded, I will I could upload the track, and we could do several things. We could upload the track just so you could practice soloing over. I could upload a track so you could write your own top line to it, or write your own words to it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But oh, your brain is absolutely full of knowledge. I enjoy your passion. Thank you. I just endlessly try to write chord progressions without really knowing what I'm doing. And that's good. I know it's an A minor, so what am I? Yeah, it's that's a good. You know, writing chord progressions is kind of like musical journaling. Chord progressions is a place to start. Grooves. You know, that's the great thing about having a memo thing on your phone. They used to have the music memos, which was really cool software. I was going to do a video about it, but then Apple got rid of it. It was an okay software. I mean, I'm fine with music, just regular memos. I will sometimes videotape because sometimes I'm doing something on the guitar that's weird or weird tuning. So if I just record it, I'll be like, how did I play that? I'm not kidding. Other times I forget how I played something. And I get asked all the time about doing a tutorial on Justin Bieber's Raise the Bar. And I can't because it's a trick, and I don't want to show the trick until the song's officially released, or else somebody will copy the trick and then release a song like it. And I'm like, I can't do that. I want it to be, when the Bieber camp releases it, it'll be much more difficult to copy because you've got the entire legal team of the Bieber camp coming up against you, so no one's going to do it. But if I just show you how to do it, that's why I can't do it, because it's just like, I don't want anybody in the Bieber camp to get mad at me, even though it's my hook. So anyway, but there are times where I will videotape myself playing because I want to remember how I played something. Okay, so but even when I, you see the head versus heart, left brain versus right brain. I just wasn't digging the B section, and oh shoot, I forget your name already. You were saying about how you journaling, you're writing. What's your name? Oh, Richard Russell. Writing chord progression. So, I know we're in the key of C. I know that, the chords that we can work with in the key of C, C, D minor is the 2-chord, E minor 3-chord happens every now and then as occasion. Not a very common chord. E7 actually or E major might be more common in the key of C than E minor. Because it's the secondary dominant. Thank you. Thank you, Sam. Secondary dominant. I wrote it in there so I wouldn't forget what it's called. I always forget secondary dominant of the A minor chord. The dominant chord being the 5 chord. So the 5 chord in the key of C is G, G7, leads really strong to C. And you'll notice the top 2 strings. See that? That's the top 2 strings of the G7 chord. See that? That B and the F. Right? That's a tritone. Oops. Right? That's like... Tritones are also called the devil's tone back in the day. They were even rumored to have been illegal for a period of time. But really, a lot of music happens using the tritone, so I'm sure Handel and Beethoven and Mozart all have a problem with, no, we're not making that illegal. It creates tension. And so that tritone, that's the 3rd here of the G chord, and the 7th of the G chord, G7 chord. That B wants to resolve up, and that E wants to resolve, or that F wants to resolve down to E. So the B wants to go to C, the F wants to go to E, and you get a very natural, strong resolution. But it also sounds kind of cheesy. I would probably avoid the G7 chord if I possibly could in a pop song or in a contemporary song. It sounds kind of old-fashioned. Dennis is posting the command sips. If I touch my face, we can take a sip. I don't have much coffee left, though. If I change guitars, I may go to electric on this. We're going to start recording. And so it was like... But I think the intro was just going to be C to C sus. Right? That's probably the intro. And then we've got the... it's nice and kind of chill, right? That's our first verse. That's our verse. It should be, there should be some escalation to this. The chorus should be the peak of the song. And originally I had to go into and again that rhythmic motif, bam, bam, that 4/1 kind of motif that populated the A section was also in the B section to give it some continuity, right? It felt like those two sections belonged together. But even still, I felt like, okay, let's take the challenge of taking that verse chord progression and copy and pasting it into the pre-chorus and maybe even the chorus, and see if we can do what the pop writers that I work with do, and that is be real creative with the lyrics, mainly with the melody. And let's see, you know, like I said, it's so amazing if you listen to these pop songs, the chord progressions are almost the same all the way through in a lot of them, particularly in the last 10 years. Now I'm starting to see, and I'm predicting 22 and 23, you know, the next year, a couple of years, you're going to see more typical song forms in pop music. And I know most of you don't even listen to pop music. It's always funny to have Rick Beato do listen to the top 10 songs and then react to them. And he always comments on how basic the chord progressions are, and he's 100% right. But he's focusing too much on the chord progressions. I think he does go, that's a great melody, like the song Driver's License by Rodrigo. I can't think of her first name. Rodrigo, what's her name? Hey, Lena, good to see you. God bless you. Thank you. Yeah, exactly, that sus thing. So I'm not even changing chords. And it's not even technically a C sus. It's technically a C4 chord, okay? I'm gonna type this in so you can see it. So a C chord is C, E, G. C sus is C, F, G. Olivia, thank you, Gary. Gary's on top of it. Olivia Rodrigo. It's a great song. The new Bieber song that he did with the Kid Laroi, that the hook was written by Kid Laroi, Charlie Puth. Great hook. Remember, that was the one I told you where they brought back that very 80s trite. We used to make fun of it, little da 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 ba da 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 da. You know, it's like that da 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 ba. That half step with the major fifth. Perfect fifth. Hey, Roger, good morning. The resident pop music. Who is it? Oh, yeah. Pop music. Oh, man, that's hilarious. I forgot about that song. Okay, so there's C sus. C4, and I call it, now it's not the explosive. C4, I coined this phrase. I'm not trying to claim credit for it, but so when you say a C2 chord, you mean C, E, G, and a D. When you say C6, you mean C, E, G, and an A. So when you say C4, you mean C, E, F, and G. So it's got the root, the third, the fifth, and the fourth all together. And so a way to do C4, C sus, technically you'd have to put both the E's up to F. That's C sus, and that's C. This is a prettier, not a prettier, but a very pretty chord. So I'm playing, basically the way I'm playing this, I should have written out the numbers here. C4, okay, the way I'm playing this is nothing, and then 3, 3, 0, 1, 0. So if I were just to isolate the F on the fourth string and the E on the first string, you'd have that major seventh, which is dissonant. It's often like, it's kind of like that tritone, right? It's like, whoa. Right? But if you hear it in the context of this, that dissonance goes away. It's just beautiful in context of all the notes in the chord. And it's technically only a 4-note chord, but that's what I'm playing. So actually, I'm not technically playing C sus, I'm playing C4. Now, when I play it on piano, I'll probably play C sus. It's just softer. See, if I go to C sus, it's a little bit more defined. That's a heavier, stronger more masculine sound. This would be more feminine, right? Very pleasing though. So that's technically what I'm doing. The melody is following that though. Maybe go da da da. If I need the words, if I need space for words. Now that might be, I could do this, okay? This could be the verse. Because keep in mind that A section we're going to do twice. And that'll be the first verse. So I could do that melody 3 times and then save the ba ba for the 4th time. Again, it's just kind of one of those things where you go, yeah, do I want to give away that little hook right there that soon? Here, check it out. Because that melody, even though it's the same melody, even though it's the same, it sounds different because the chords are different. Okay? Hey, Barry. Now I'll use it. And then before I had da-da-da, I went to that. But I think I'm going to go keep the groove going. Okay, so first things first. I've got Logic up, a blank session. I'm going to, Logic is a software that I use. I'm going to go to drummer, click on, I'm going to add a new track, a drummer track. I'm going to use Songwriter, and I'm going to add that. And the tempo will change. So what's this tempo? I got to go to 8. Oh, where's the sound? Why am I not getting sound? Oh, because I'm down here. Okay, I don't like that groove. Let's see. No. Now here's something crazy too. What I will do. Okay, that's too fast. I think we're looking at what's our tempo, like 88 maybe? Let's see what 88 sounds like. Still too fast. Probably 84, but that's still not the right groove. But it doesn't matter. The groove right now I can ignore. That's not bad. Okay, so it automatically creates 8 bars of drums. And I turned off fills. Oh, I got to turn off the swing. I don't want it to swing. And then I can just hit L on my keyboard. Just hit the letter L makes it loop. So now it's going for basically 130 bars. So I can start playing over that. So that's basically going to be our tempo. I don't know if you can hear this, but right, Sam, yeah. But when you're, okay, so Sam, that's true. Add 4 would be the more old school, but also remember they used to call it C add 9 or C add 2. And now it's just C2. I mean, and same thing with, now I don't remember ever seeing C add 6 maybe. But here's one of the, I got 2 reasons why I just write C4s. The reason is it's faster. But when I was teaching guitar lessons, you got 30 minutes. It's really limited. You want to, shorthand is better. And if everybody understands the shorthand, then it works. Okay. So keep in mind now, I'm gonna, Sam, I'm gonna get rid of. And the other reason to write it that way. Hold on a second. I gotta go here. I'm gonna delete all of this. In fact, I can. Well, okay, let's just do this. Let's go here. I'll delete this. And I'm going to get rid of secondary dominant, so I'm going to forget the term secondary dominant again. Okay, so now we're editing this song, and now we're simplifying. Okay, again, this is where the head said, okay, I could go to this G chord, and I go to do all these chords, and these chords all work. But after keep doing it, it never settled. It never felt good. It just felt like it felt academic. It felt like, yes, this is a proper song. Here's a proper B section. Let's do a chorus and let's, it felt like that indubitably, It didn't really do anything here. It was all up here, and it was like, okay, I'm using my head here, and I'm crafting, I'm being formulaic, but now I don't, it's like, no, that's not working for me. If it's not working, it's not working. So you can't explain it. And that's the heart. That's the art. That's the heart. That's the left brain versus right brain, and I always forget which is which. But so the groove is good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop in a piano here. I mean, not the groove isn't good. I'm going to change the groove in a second, but for now it's working. Okay, so there's our groove. Okay. But I'm going to go ahead and put in, I'm just going to, it's going to take a minute to load because I'm going to get kind of a better sounding piano than just the normal piano. So I am using, for this, it's what piano is this? It's Native Instruments, so it's a plugin using Contact. So Contact is kind of a machine, a tool inside a Logic. It's a MIDI tool, and the piano that I'm using is called, and again, like I said, it's going to take a minute to load. The Grandeur. The Grandeur. I usually, every year or every 2 years, will get Contact Complete, which is, probably $1,000 or something like that. But it's pretty much all the stuff I'll ever need to use from them. And then a lot of other companies make plugins that use the Contact driver. Contact's just like a window that opens up. It's kind of like a browser for your music, your creating system. So here's our piano. It's a pretty good sounding piano. So it's okay. I'm going to make it a little softer. It's a little bright. I can change a lot of things on it. What's really cool on things like this is I can turn on the anatomy so you hear like more of the pedal and things like that. Let me see. It's not on. Let's see. Overtones, pedal. Oh, here it is. Sorry. This is I can half pedal. You hear the damper now, the hammers. So I can turn them up really loud. But it makes it sound more like a real piano to have that stuff on. Now, sometimes you want a cleaner sound. But anyway, a nice piano plugin will have all those little features. Okay. Okay, so let me just write this in here in case anyone's curious. So I'm using Logic. And I'm going to, I've got Contact. I think it's spelled like that. And then I'm using, for piano, I'm using, was it the Grandeur, I think. I think that's how it's spelled. I could let me check it again. I just closed that window. I'll leave that window. E-U-R, did I spell it that way? The Grandeur. E-U-R? No. Okay, spell it wrong. The Grandeur, like this. All right. Hey, Catherine, good to see you. Yeah, good Christmas. Yeah, my boys are here. We're here. My daughter's here from Washington now. She lives up in Washington. And her boyfriend flew in from North Carolina. So they're doing that. Oh, yeah, if you play piano, you can add all sorts of notes. Yeah, it's easy. Okay, so... feels a little slow, but I think it's probably pretty close to right. Let me record this real quick. I'm gonna quantize it now. Clicking on the MIDI file, I'm just gonna hit the letter, select all, and then hit Q, and it'll make it perfect. I just did one time through. I don't need to do it because. Okay, now check this out. I'm gonna loop that. Hit the letter L. Now that's just gonna keep going. This is crazy. I'm gonna go to the drummer software, and I'm gonna go when it says, I've got multiple kick patterns. I'm gonna click the button follow, and it's going to follow the piano. So now the groove on the drums is going to follow what I did on the piano. Here the kick changed. I don't know if you can hear that, but so that's not bad. All right. Now I need another. I love when I get these power alert, like outage in my neighborhood alerts. Oh wait, no, that's not what I want. Delete this. I'm going to do another. No, okay, so piano. But instead of a piano, let's see. I'm going to do like an organ. Okay, and I'll just do like a basic organ. I'm not going to like load a fancy one. Let's see. Vintage B3. Let's see, what do I want? Like a soul organ, maybe. Okay, so we have the. Oh, I forgot. I got to turn off pitch bend. I have a glitch. I have USB issues. So I'm getting a new iMac next year when the new ones come out. The new iMac Pros come out. But in the meantime, I have to go to MIDI, turn off the pitch bend, because otherwise it's gonna be all out of tune. So it's frustrating. Pitch bend. No. I think we're good now. Don't think I need to do the same thing to the piano. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna turn down the organ a little bit. Hopefully you can hear it. I don't know what the balance is like. I need to work. Oh, thank you, Art. God bless you. I need to. Maybe 2022 will see me set it up so that I've got the sound going into, because I have a mic, I have an auxiliary input I could use, so you could hear more, a better quality direct sound. But I have to make sure that my voice is heard over everything. So, okay. So now I'm going to add that melody that we have for the first A section. I'm going to go ahead and add that, and we're going to have. Oh, we can do bass. I'll do bass too. Just kind of building this. These are not finals by any stretch. We're creating, and I'm using, if you've got a Mac, you've got GarageBand. Pretty much everything I'm doing here, you can do in GarageBand. Maybe not the quality level the same, but you can do it. A little keyboard would help. You can do it on your keyboard, on your computer keyboard. And believe it or not, you actually have a piano keyboard on your keyboard. Or if you any songwriting software, it doesn't matter. There's free softwares you can buy. Free softwares you can buy. One of my favorite oxymorons. I'm my favorite oxymoron. Software that you can download that's free that you can do this kind of thing on. But basically, what I'm doing is this is so we can work with it, okay? Because we talked about some of these things, and we're gonna do some melodic manipulation. All right, to help us find interesting melodies, especially if this is your first song. If you're writing your first song, one thing, but if you're writing your 50th song and you're just realizing all my melodies sound the same, or people are telling me my songs all sound the same, you're going to have to start doing some manipulation to what you're doing, and you can do it in the MIDI. You can do it on paper and then listen back to it and go, oh yeah, that works, or no, that doesn't work. And then if it works, you just learn it that way. And now you've got a completely new melody that you never, ever in a million years would have created on your own. Same thing with chord progression. We're going to talk about chord substitutions. We've done this we've talked about substitutions many times before. We're going to talk about that more, maybe even in the context of making this song. We are already kind of doing a chord substitution, right? Because I could have technically just gone dun, dun, ba, ba, dun, da, da, dun. I could have just stayed on C and C sus, but instead I went to A minor, which is a substitute for C, and then I went to a solid. I went to a solid F to C instead of just a simple. Okay. That F to C cadence has the same same resolutions as the C sus to C. It's just much stronger and much more confident. The C sus one is just very subtle. Okay. All right. So now I'm gonna add our melody. Okay. We're gonna add our melody. See. Maybe I'll save that. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. And for now, I'm going to go ahead and do the melody with the change every other time. Okay, you'll see in a second. Here we go. Okay, now, two things happened there. One, I messed up. Okay, right now the melody that I just played in the organ is not quantized, meaning it's not locked to the grid, and I can set the grid when I want to quantize. I can set it to 16th notes, 8th chord notes. If I set it to chord notes, everything would move to quarter notes. It'd be very right on the downbeat. Dun dun dun. Dun, 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 dun. It wouldn't be, there would be no pushes at all. Usually I set it to 16th notes unless the tempo is really fast, and then maybe I'd set it to 8th notes. Okay, but two things happened there. I screwed up. All right, that's fine. And then I screwed up again. The second screw up kind of came, it was like, wait, that's kind of cool. And what did I tell you? Anytime I've ever done anything cool, it's almost always it was an accident. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. Okay, sorry, I missed. Oh, Lena, God bless you. Thank you so much. Oh, who gave you that? Alice, Happy New Year to you too. Thank you so much. So I'm going to play what I just did. I'm not quantized it yet. Pretty solid. A little late. Okay, now, I wanted to make a little change here so it wasn't boring, but okay, so the mess up was I didn't go to the high note soon enough, and I want to fix that. That I don't want. Okay, however, check this out. So I'm going to solo. That's the other nice thing about this. You can solo and listen to just one thing. What am I doing? Here we go. All right. So I'm just soloing the organ. I'm quantizing. So I think I want that. I want ba 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 ba. Now the mistake was this is what I messed up. I accidentally hit those other notes, and I realized that not quite what I wanted. But actually, let's see what this sounds like. So I'm just editing, making them a little cleaner. Okay. So here's the second half. That's kind of nice. I might keep that. And that means that the first half of this A section is very simple. The second half has a little bit more to it. Means I'm going to need a couple more words here, right? When I do da da da, we're going to need another couple words there, and then also here. And if I decide later that I don't want those, I can get rid of that. Obviously, it's my song. It's our song. Okay, that's a lot of people to. BMI is going to be really upset when they see 400 splits on a song. It's just going to be like, wait, what? Okay. Oh, no, we got to get rid of this. This is remove. All right. Barry, what's going on? Barrister. Oh, there we go. Oh, we're talking about. I'm sorry. Yeah. All DAW. DAW stands for Digital Audio Workstation, by the way. Okay. And I hardly ever refer to this term, so I think it's DAW is how people pronounce that. I mean, how else would you pronounce that? But that stands for Digital Audio Workstation. And I don't want you to, because I don't want you to get slogged down here. And it's just used to be we would record on tape machines. Now we record on computers. Okay. So, but to record on a computer, you need some kind of interface. You'll need the interface is what you deal with. And you'll also need a digital audio, some way of getting audio onto it. Now, you don't necessarily, if you're only working with MIDI, you don't need any digital audio thing. But once I bring an electric guitar into it, then you do. Okay, so now I got a couple options here. We could have some fun. I could actually play bass on this, and so let me do that. I'll add an audio track this time. Okay, so far I've only added the drummer track, which is its own software in Logic, and then, okay, so that melody. Okay, now I'm going to grab all this, everything I've done. I'm going to select all. I'm going to move it over one bar. Okay, and there's a reason why I'm doing that. So technically, everything now is starting on bar 2. Here, if I turn the click on, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Oh, I forgot we need an intro. So let's go ahead, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the piano and the. I'm going to copy the first part of the piano. Oh, I don't want to loop that. Hold on a second. Get rid of that. Okay. I want this, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we want to do that twice, don't we? Let's do that twice. So I'm going to move the looped piano and the melody over 2 more bars. So I got 4 bars up front. So I got 1 bar click, 3, 4, and then this is our intro. Now, right now, these are just markers. We'll change these. Okay, now the song's gonna start. There's our melody. Okay, now I can add on that melody. It's because organ's a little bit on the annoying side. I can add, for one thing, I might roll off the top a little bit. Oh, wow. That's way too much. What the heck? Okay, I'm going to soften it a little bit and roll off a little bit of the top end on it. I may add a little reverb. Let's see. Let's go. One of my favorite reverb is the Valhalla plate. I'm going to take it down a bit. That's too much, but just a little bit, kind of soften it. Okay, now, so we've got 4-bar intro of just the C to C sus to C, C, C sus C, and then we go into the first melody. And the drums, again, everything here is just place markers. And Sam, I mentioned why another reason why I use the phrase C4 instead of C add for is to save time in writing, because sometimes you got ideas so they start coming so fast. You really do not want to be. You really don't want to be writing. Writing things down instead of, spending time writing things down instead of creating. You've got to go as fast as you possibly can. So, yeah, yeah, hit the like button. What the heck? Nothing bad will happen if you hit the like button. Audacity, my acoustic guitar for a long time. It's free, multi-track. Yep. Yeah. There's in fact, yeah. So there's probably a lot of people that can recommend free software. And again, this is just a way to capture your ideas. You can capture it with your phone, your thing, but we're capturing in a manner that we can start to manipulate. And because remember, song elements contain, I believe the only copyrightable elements are the melody and the lyrics and the hook. The harmony, the production technically, although we've got some lawsuits recently, but pretty much just by the Marvin Gaye. So as long as you don't ever listen to another Marvin Gaye song again and get inspired by a Marvin Gaye song, you should be fine. And it has two benefits. They stopped making money off of Marvin Gaye, and his family does. And you won't accidentally write a song that might in some way or shape or form have some kind of reference to a Marvin Gaye song. I kid you not, but that rhythm, ba ba, Marvin Gaye claims that. Marvin Gaye estate claims that rhythm, right? What was it? They said that drum beat was part of Marvin Gaye's estate. And I'm like, they're delusional, and a jury agreed. Hopefully, they're being challenged. I hope that just for the sake of all musicians everywhere, don't settle or don't pay the. It's Pharrell and Robin Thicke was one case, and the other one was Ed Sheeran, and I'm just like, it's crazy. So I'm taking a risk with that rhythm that Marvin Gaye estate's going to sue us, but we're all in this together, so you guys are going to get sued too. It's not just me. All right, but I don't really. I always point the wrong way. I don't really think any of these things are copyrightable. You can't copyright a tempo. You can't copyright a key. You can't copyright a rhythm group. But again, some of what they're saying in those, but don't worry about that. Okay, so all of these things are all part of a song, though. They're all elements of a song. And I always tell some young songwriters, if you're going to pitch a song to a producer, just make it guitar and vocal or piano and vocal, because the producer's not going to like anybody else's production, and they are you're going to want to inspire them by hearing your melody to go, oh, I could do this and this and this with this, and then they run with it, and then you're potentially golden. If you're pitching to an artist, typically artists hear produced out tracks oftentimes. So you're going to want to produce a track, which means, well, I'm not a producer. So you say, well, then work with one. So now you're going to have to cut in the producer on the percentages. That's why pop songs have so many writers on it. There's not that many people writing on it, but like a lot of times, if you want me to play guitar on your song, and you're an artist, you're going to have to give me a piece, because probably I'm going to come in there and I'm going to contribute something hook-wise or something. It's not just going to be a matter of strumming chords. If it's just that, then it's a session fee. But if I'm coming in and I'm actually coming up with guitar parts and counter melodies to the melody, things that could potentially be hooks, then I'm going to get a percentage. And the same thing's true with a producer comes in, and if producer makes it sound like a frickin' record, he's worth every percentage that he gets. If he gets 15, 20% or whatever, it's worth it, because they're really adding to that track. But again, that's at the sacrifice. You're going to have to give up something. So that's another discussion. That's more. That's more on the business side of things. But all of these things are part of it. So we've already, just in our very, very simple thing, we have melody, we have harmony, right? We're getting to arrangement song form. We don't really have a genre yet, but we kind of have a groove. We have rhythm, definitely. We have a meter. it's in 4/4. The tempo is, I think, 84, right? We have a key. We're in the key of C. So a lot of these elements, these are elements of the song. They're all already in place. All right. Now we could change the key if we have an artist, a singer that comes along and is like, she can't sing that low or he can't sing that high. Then we could change it. All right. So what was I going to do? Oh, I was going to add bass. Okay. Let me. The thing is, I probably. Okay. I'm gonna. This is give you an example of how I work and how a lot of people work. I was going to grab my bass and play bass on it, but I'm not going to because audio is not as easy to manipulate as MIDI. So I'm going to go ahead and do MIDI bass on it, but I'll probably replace it with real bass. All right. But only once we have the song done, when we have the map of the song. We may not have lyrics done, we may not have the melody done, but if we know it goes A section and the B section, the C, and what the chords are, then once I know that it's finished, then I'll do, because otherwise I got to get the bass and try to punch in, and then I might use different settings, and then I can't get the levels are going to be different. It's like, oh, now I got to do the whole bass part over again. So this way, if it's just a MIDI, I can manipulate it all at once. So I'm going to pull up. Again, in Logic, I'm going to use Contact, and I'm going to just pull up a Music Man bass, all right? So, software channel, create a software channel. I'm going to go, I have this one saved. Music Man bass, where are you? Where is it? I call it. Oh, there it is. It's called Music Man bass. How did I not see it? All right, it's a 5-string bass, so I can go all the way down to B here, but I'm probably not going to use that C. That just gets too deep. No. So I'm going to play something like that. So that's simple, all right? Here we go. But remember, the intro is just C. So here we got, I'm just going to play the first part. 2, 3, 4. My left hand isn't very good. Do it again. I'm just going to keep it even simpler. I can add in MIDI later. I can add notes. 3, 4. Okay, so that's basically the A section, and then we got to come up with a melody for the second, kind of what I think we're going to call a pre-chorus. Now, I messed up. I tried to do that, but my fingers were a little heavy, and on some software programs or some, it's trying to be realistic. So if I have 2 fingers down at once, a bass player wouldn't do that. So, okay, let me fix that. Yeah, here it is. Okay, first of all, I'm going to quantize. And then, so I think this is where I did it. Yeah. All right, now the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to chop it off the intro on the bass part, okay? So I'm chopping it. I know, I wish you could see this. I guess I could do, let's see. Let me see if I can, I'll do a screen, let's see if I can do a screen grab. So you can see what I'm doing. Okay, oops, wrong. I gotta grab this and move this over here for now. This I can delete. Move. Yes, we don't need that for now. Art versus craft, I can delete that as well. Let me get rid of that. Move. All right, now let's see if I can do that video capture. No, window capture. Let's see if I can, okay. Let's see if Logic on title. See, well, there it is, but it's really big. So let's see if I can make this smaller. Really hard to grab this because I gotta find, there we go. Gotta make this smaller. Okay, well this is great. This is awesome. It's what I should have been doing all along. Dag nabbit. All right. Problem is, so this is, you can see what I'm working with here. All right. Now why is that? Oh, okay, I see. All right. All right, so I can get rid of, I can also make this window smaller. So if I make this smaller, it'll get smaller, right? I think that's right. Yeah. Okay. I've only used this a couple times. We used it for the countdown. Okay. So now you can see what I'm doing here. I think it's getting a little glitchy maybe because I got multiple things going on with the OBS software. But here's what I did was here's the intro. Right? And here's where the verse starts. There's the organ. Solo the organ. Solo drums. There's the drums. Space. Okay. I'm the coolest guy. Okay, so the coolest guy. Okay, so here's drummer right here. That thing at the bottom. You see the drum set there? I can change this. So look, I'm going to solo the drums. Okay. In fact, I'm just going to go here. Loop that. I can make it busier by doing that. See, this is simple, complex, soft, loud. So you got this XY thing where it automatically changes. If you look at the yellow thing, it's changing shape as I move this around. I just like where it was there, but I could also go to toms instead of hi-hat. Right, but that's not the vibe of the song. It's just simple hi-hat. And notice here, see, I've got it set to real piano. I can turn that off and it gives me all these different drum options. But I want it to follow the piano rhythm. So whatever the piano's doing, it kind of sets the rhythm. All right, so that's kind of, we're getting more into production and less into songwriting. But again, this is part of the process for me for songwriting. For a lot of people, it's like, okay, we've got the first section. Let's come up with the other melody. Now, the next thing to do is I'm going to copy that bass over because nothing's changed. I'm going to copy bass over, and I'm going to try to write another melody. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start halfway through. I'm going to go into the organ mode, and you see the little R, the red R there. I don't know if you can see that. It's pretty small. It's pretty small right there. But that means that it's going to be recorded. If I hit record, it's going to start to record on that track. Okay? I'm going to go up a little bit on the volume. Oh, wait, I turned the volume down. Okay, here. There, I'm turning up the organ. Okay, so our melody was... Oops, what was it? Now the second half of the verse, or we can think of it as the pre-chorus. I'm going to move it up a little bit. So let me see. I'm just going to mess around. I'm in the key of C, which is great because it's all white keys. All white keys. That makes it real simple. And then take down from 8 to 16. Okay, so it's playing it. No, the bass has to play. there. But you see now I just created all this new. This is all new. I don't think this is going to, if I do this, will it show you? You're not going to see this, yeah. So I'm not capturing that. But that, I'm going to, let's listen to that. It's okay. It's not great. I think I'll do better. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and delete that. That's gone. So that creation is now gone. I think I'm going to go back to the guitar and my voice and see what I come up with. Because what I imitated with the soul organ before was was what we sang. What I sang is my guitar part, right? Or my melody. So here. I'm going to get rid of this because it's in the way of my hands. You're like, thank you for getting rid of that. Okay, here we go. All right, don't need that. I did that. So we want to save that. Let's see. I don't know if I could sing something like that. Something and technically that A, but you don't have to have obviously you don't have to have the melody note in the chord to be able to sing it. I'm singing an A. There's no A in this C4 chord. Oh, sorry, Dennis, question? Oh, banjo? I couldn't put banjo on this. That would take it in a different direction. And C's not a bad banjo. We're talking about what's that instrument back there? Oh, that is a Kumbas. Okay, I could play the melody on that. Gary, give me a minute and I'll pull that off the wall, okay? It's a Kumbas. It's one of the most inappropriately named musical instruments I can think of. Okay, so the melody. It's a Turkish instrument, Middle Eastern instrument. All right, sorry. Bored hands. Okay, so it's I could do that. I could do something like that. It'd be kind of nice. Again, we're just kind of creating a melody. We see what it works. Okay, so let me. That's not bad. I mean, it's a little. Well, it's a little. Okay, so here we go. We don't want to go up there yet. But that first part, okay, we'll keep that first part for now. Ah, shoot. Oh, what did I do? Okay, but now we need something different for this. So we've only gotten 1/4 of the next section. Okay, let me go here. I'm going to quantize that real quick. It was fine. Okay. Maybe that. There we go. It's not bad. It's not great. Like I said, the best melodies are going to kind of come about. I mean, sometimes if you're a good keyboard player, you can come up with a good melody, probably. But for me, the best melodies are going to be the ones where I'm playing the guitar and kind of like experimenting there. Okay, so if I were to maybe not so straight. Maybe I went like. That's kind of nice. That's a little more interesting. Sit on that B note, which is an odd note to sing over that, but it creates a little more haunting thing. So listen to the difference here. Here's what it is. Right? Okay, now I'm going to change that. I'm going to get rid of the A, and I'm going to extend out that B. And see, I'm doing this in the MIDI, and so I can hear it. And I can always undo it if I don't like it. Yeah, see, that's kind of cool. And then, now I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to get rid of the second half. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of that. That's too square. I'm going to play off of this one. See, I want to go there, but it's just too high. I got to be careful. If I'm the one singing it, it ain't going to happen. But I'm going to play off of that note there. Yeah, so I can do that. See that little lilt? Okay, so I'm recording this now. I'm in record. That's not bad. That's not a bad melody. Let's see. I did a little. Like, I'll just leave that like it is. I won't quantize it. So here we go. So, yeah, so you're not seeing that cursor, or if you are, it's really no, I don't see the cursor there. That's so funny. Okay, but now what I can do, see those two files now? I can merge those. So now there's, and then I can just copy and paste that. Let me do that. That's our kind of like, okay. Is somebody here? My gardeners aren't supposed to be here today. Oh, no. All right. So I can merge this. Oh, I already did. Okay. Well, and I can merge this. So now here's the song form so far. We have intro. Okay, and then the verse. Same chords. thing I might do is I may take this, here's the Music Man bass, and I may take all of this, I'm going to highlight it, oh, there it is, and I'm going to go up an octave, okay? In fact, I'm going to go to the intro and do the same thing. Okay, now the reason to do that is now I'm giving myself a some dynamics, okay? And that's, again, part of this here, okay? Dynamics. Pitch is also, well, pitch, I guess I could add that. But so by putting the bass up there, it's kind of like sneaking in. In fact, I could even not even bring the bass in. Okay, if I go back to this, I could mute this. I could just click on that file there, hit M. I could go here, cut this in half, and mute the first half of that. And now we'll just start the piano. In fact, I can even take the drums out. I can start with the piano. And I would want to replay that so it's interesting. The bass is in now. Up an octave. So I might even want to wait to save the drums here for there, okay? Because then you got something that changes. So now you can see there's an arc to this. Look at the diagonal. Look at that diagonal now. See, the piano comes in, then the piano and the vocal comes in. The vocal. Remember, think of the soul organ as the vocal. That's going to be your singer, okay? And then the bass comes in, but up an octave, so it's very subtle. Although I did notice that when I was listening to that bass, it was a little like gainy. See, these notes here are a little too hot. So I'm going to bring them down. I'm going to make them not so... The color tells you that it's... The green is softer. You know, purple would be really soft. Red is like, if I make this all the way, this all the way, you can... But it's like he's hitting the string really hard. So I want to back it off and keep it pretty soft. Even this one. Kind of keep them all in a very soft range. Okay, now... See, now we're just on the piano, right? This is how we're building it. Now, normally I would maybe have a full song done already written before I would start this, but I'm using this process to help the writing. Okay, the bass is going to come in. Very subtle. Drums in. Boom. Okay, now, what if I want a drum fill? Okay, let me do this. I'm gonna copy this here, right? I'm just gonna drag. So I just want like 2 beats, and I'm gonna go ahead and make this a fill. So let's see what happens here. Check this out. Cool, right? Glad, Alice. Have a good time. All right. So, Leon, we're technically on songwriting. Okay. So I'm basically what we're doing is we're starting to track the song that we've been writing the last few weeks. I'm starting to kind of lay down at least to help me come up with maybe the new melodies. And I kind of determined, instead of having these very different A section, B section kind of things, that I would have the A section, rhythm, or harmonically, the chord structure is going to stay the same for a while. And so I'm putting a lot more pressure on me as writing the top line, the melody, because the chords are staying the same, which is very typical for pop. We're going to bring in other chords at some point, but right now, we're using dynamics, instrumentation to kind of make the sections different, okay? Like, for example, we know that, I know that probably I'm going to continue, the chorus will be, let's say the chorus is the same groove and same, but I might go with a different groove. Okay, so let me go here. I'm going to unloop this, hit the L and go away. Okay, so now it's not looped. See that? And if I drag this over, copy it over, all right, like that, now I can take this and make it much busier. Okay? The bass is there, the piano's there. So now we've got, watch what happens. Okay, we're going to go from the beat, what I'm calling, this is the B section. This organ here, I've got highlighted there. Okay, that'll be the B melody. I don't have a C melody yet, meaning I don't have a chorus. So this is kind of the verse here. Sorry, I can make this small. Verse, pre-chorus, and then the chorus is going to be here. We haven't written it yet. But notice how much busier, see how that is, and see how much busier this is? I don't know what it's going to sound like. We haven't gotten there yet, but we'll see. But it's a lot busier because I moved the XY grid thing over to the more complex thing. Okay, so this is the second half of the B section. So more ghosting. Hey, Sean Walden, what's going on? Oh, hey, Suzanne. Hilarious. So you can see that the drum pattern is much busier there. It sounds busier. It's not much. I can turn it up so you can hear it. I'll solo it. Listen to here. I'll solo it. You can hear what's happening. So here's the pattern. Pretty simple. The only thing that's changed is like some more ghosting. I could go to ride there. So like if I click on that, it'll, instead of being hi-hat, it'll be the ride cymbal. So instead of being, and it'll hit B cymbals instead of the hi-hat. Helps to be able to play a little bit of all these instruments to understand them. So it's a little bit busier. You can hear it in the context of all the other instruments jumping in there. So we don't have a chorus melody yet, though. That's the next thing. That's the most important thing, really. Because so far, I don't really think we have a hook. I think we have a pseudo-melodic hook in the ba-ba-ba-ba, right? That's kind of a cool... that's kind of our... There's a hook there. It's more the rhythmic, the 4/1 cadence with a push. That's kind of a rhythmic motif that we've played into. We could do that. We could change the chord progression to really play into that. What would happen if I did that? So say I'm going, again, this is where, we talk about this all the time. This is where the head and the heart collide, okay? So I have an idea right now in my head. And mathematically it could work, but I don't know how it's going to affect me here. And if it doesn't work here, I'm going to discard this idea. So it's craft versus art, head versus heart, left brain versus right brain, okay? So here we go. I'm just going to do one time through the progression, and I'm going to try something, and I'll see if it works, okay? I'm going to take our motif, our rhythmic and harmonic motif, and I'm going to move it into the chorus in a different way. So here's the pre-chorus. But I kind of don't have that memorized, but it's... not bad. I don't know if I like going 4/5, but you see what I did? I went to the 4 chord. I went to F. So far everything started on the C chord. Now I went to, so this could be the chorus. I think this may work. I don't know. There's something there. I could go 5/1. That seems a little trite. Like that's been done a billion times. So something about that. could work, something like that. That's a little bit sad. So that tells me my lyric is going to change. We haven't written any lyrics yet, but that tells me we've got this. That tells me that sounded like a happy lyric, and now all of a sudden I've got this. But that means I have to replay the piano. So let me replay the piano doing that and see if we like it or not. All right. So I'm going to stop the looping there. There's a stop and loop. And I'm going to go in here, piano, and this is where it's just basically going to be. So it's kind of turning itself around on itself, which in itself is a hook. In other words, what I'm kind of doing here, my piano pedal is slipping. What I'm doing here is I'm kind of inverting the song or turning the chords inside out to come up maybe with a new melody. Oh, sorry. What about duping the bass? I'm not sure what that means. Suzanne's my boss at church. She's allowed to boss me around. She's one of the few people. She's probably not there anymore. What about doubling the bass down a third or fifth, 1/5 to fatten it. Drop the volume both a little to come. I'm not sure what you mean. I pitch wise, I could put the bass down, and that would change the harmonic structure of the song. Okay, if that's what you're talking about, like instead of having go down a third, that would become A minor. Well, we're kind of already doing that in the context of the first half of the verses, and then the second half is I change the bass. Kind of like that, but let's go ahead and do the yeah, I've never heard that term, duping. Well, I guess dupe in a sense, but doubling, yeah. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play the new piano, so we're going to go gonna get very Bruce Hornsby here in a second. All right. I'm gonna mute the organ. The bass I'm gonna bring down because it's kind of bugging me. In fact, I need to delete the bass because it's gonna be a new bass line. So let me just see what this sounds. See if we like this. Here's the old A minor. There we go. Not bad. It sounds almost like it's wrong, right? I mean, I think it would put a lot of pressure on the melody here. So it puts a lot of pressure on the melody. Now because of the organ, it makes me. We're almost getting into kind of like a Jacob Dylan kind of vibe. Okay, let me go here. Okay. Oh, that was Bruce Hornsby there. Let me go back to the organ. Here we go. See, I don't want to sing that high. Yeah, see, we can find something there. Let me go back to the guitar and try to do that with the guitar, and see if something. It's well, you know what? Here's part of the reason I did that was because I wanted to hear if I liked going from one section to the other. So we get rid of the. It may not work. It may sound like. almost like a mistake. Okay, so you're coming out of the chorus. I mean, here's the chorus. Yeah, so let me just get rid of this. All right. And then I went to the 5 chord just because I went, okay, it sounds like it wants to go to the 5 chord. We've never gone to the 5 chord. That would be the first time it appeared. And I might be tempted to do a softer 5 chord. In other words, instead of doing G, I might do G sus or something. Let me see. Where's the B? So if I go there, it might be a little bit softer. And then it goes back to, then we go back to the intro, right? Or is it back to the... See, I just copied all that. Now I could take this and I could take it down to just kick and hi-hat. See that? I just clicked off the kick drum. See, the kick drum's yellow, and then now it's not. Or I could just go to hi-hat. In fact, I could have even done that back here. So watch. I could go half of that, and then bring that here, and then add the kick and kick. So now we got kick. So check this out. I like the busier pattern. Let's go with the busier pattern. Hi-hat. Okay. It was a pretty crazy drum fill. I think if I'm gonna do a snare drum fill, I'm gonna want the snare back in. So it's kind of a breakdown verse. Now we're back to the groove. Okay, so you can see what's happening there. As far as going down with the bass, I could move the bass, but I wouldn't double it down. I mean, maybe if I were to make this a pop track, heck yeah. If this were a pop track, I might double octaves. I might put, I could do a sub bass thing. Check this out. If I did like a sub bass thing, that would be like a pop track. Okay, so I'm gonna add a track here. I'm gonna go. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Basses, basement bass. Okay, and I got to turn this down because it's crazy loud. So if I copy this down here, then I get. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's pretty low sub stuff. And what I usually do, like with the basement basses, I usually will do some kind of like. I like doing like where it overlaps and playing multiple notes. So you see, I've got C. Oh, you can't see this, but if I go, I don't want C. I want F. I'm going to put a little bass lick in here. Okay. Now I won't keep this, but it's just give you the idea. So check this out. Oh wait, okay. So you can see right there where it says basement bass. There it is. Yeah, it's like a lick. This was too high though. I don't think this. I could do double like this. So let me solo that so you can hear what that sounds like. That's the kind of thing Okay, that falls under. Okay, I'm going to mute that. I'm probably not going to use this at all, but it's there if I need it. It's always nice to have a bunch of your favorite sounds ready to go in case you go. Oh, because you got to be ready for that inspiration. That inspiration shows up. You gotta capture it as quickly as you can. But that I always point the wrong over here. Okay. So I'm going to point this way, and I'm just going to move this like this to match my finger. Okay, so. Yeah, so that comes under the heading of production, all right? So that's part of songwriting. It can be part of songwriting. Now, if you're, Bob Dylan and it's a guitar and a voice, there's not a whole lot of production involved. And the producer's not going to get a percentage of, the guy that records his vocal and guitar is the producer, and he's not going to get a percentage of the song. So in that scenario, production wouldn't be considered songwriting. But if like you're a producer and you add a lick like that and it becomes an important moment in the song, then you could see where that would be considered. Well, wow, that's the highlight of the song. You got to give the producer some points on that, percentages. So anyway, that's more music business than music songwriting. Okay, so let's see. I'll have to have some turkey. Go ahead. Yep. Slow cooked it yesterday. 450 degrees for 45 minutes, uncovered. 225 degrees overnight, 7 hours. 110 to 20. Wow. That's the secret? Is that the secret? So, let's see. All right. So I want to scroll through here. Oh, everybody's getting lunch. Yeah, it's 11 o'clock. I was late today. Suzanne, my boss at church, she brought a turkey. It was amazing, actually. I think she cooked it in a crock pot, turkey breast. It was so tender. It was amazing. Turkey is tough. I mean, if you mess up a turkey and that's the main course. Oh, it's so frustrating. Hey, Douglas, dupe and drop, harmonized bass. Second bass complements original bass line or third or fifth lower. Yeah. Wow. I've not done that. Is that more about like a pop trick? Because I don't think I've ever heard it done on a rock song. Of course, I don't even know what style. We haven't even determined style yet. Okay. I mean, heck, we could turn this into a reggae tune, right? Right? I mean, we could do metal, speed metal. I mean, we haven't even chosen the genre yet, or the style, the song form, or whatever. But naturally, it just feels good on the acoustic. And I'm only treating it as a pop tune in the context of trying to write a melody, and the fact that the B section I had written before, where was it? Here? Oh, I got rid of I deleted it. It's gone forever. No, I have it on previous videos, so if I want to find. I don't know that I would ever add a third below a fifth, because the bass note is going to be, or a fifth below. A bass note is going to be maybe a fifth harmonic or something, but the bass note is going to be the lowest note of the song. So to go below that, you're going to be changing the harmony of the song, especially if you go down a third or a fifth. And so I'm already doing that when I'm composing it. But the most important thing right now is to try to come up with some kind of melody. And so we have that. And I've still not decided yet if I like the chorus. Throw the melody in there. lot of fun you can have over that A minor chord. You can go. See, although it's trite, I'm thinking maybe the 5 chord may need to make an appearance here. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I don't know. Yeah, you should be able to see this. I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go to the piano. I'm gonna duplicate that. I'm gonna drag this idea down, and I'm gonna mute the piano. So that idea is gone, but it's still there. So if I decide later I want to go back to it, I got it. Okay, so I don't have to worry about losing it. By the way, I need to save this. I haven't saved it. Live stream team. All right. I'll put it in a folder later. I'll just put it here for now. All right. So I'm thinking maybe that we may, you know, maybe go to the instead of going to C, F, C, G. That's too trite. But if I go F, C to G, A minor 7, that could work. So let's try it. And I got the drums there to help play along with. It always helps to play along with drums or something. Okay, so we're starting on the F chord, right? F. I'm keeping it simple, real simple. So then I went to the 4 and the 5 chord to set up the going back to the C, right? So I did that to kind of set that up. Okay, so let's see if let me quantize that because I'm not a perfect piano player. So I'm going to hit select all, hit Q. Now I'm going to undo that just so you probably won't be able to see this, but I'm hitting Control A, and that highlights all these. So you can see all they changed kind of color. It got bright. I'm going to hit Q, and some of them are going to move slightly. I don't know if you saw that, but if you saw that, that's called quantizing. Now they're moving to the grid, okay? So let's hear that. That wasn't bad. In fact, I think I'm going to stick with it and just go with the bass now. I'm going to do the bass. So now I'm going to go to the bass and I'm going to quantize that. I'm going to get rid of some of the really hot notes that they kind of distort. They're too heavy. My left hand gets very heavy when I'm playing. So yeah, I'm gonna. You can see here. See how the colors are: the green, and then there's the more brown. You know So like watch I don't know if you see the color change. I'm going to change the velocity. You can see the color change to purple and to red. You know, I really, in the middle, the greens are right here in the middle. The greens, the blues, they tend to be nice for bass. It gets a little harsh sometimes. Oh, did I just? Oh, weird. Okay. All right. Oh, that's weird. Okay, now are you still seeing what I'm seeing? What happens if I do this? Let's see. Okay, so you're not. I messed up. I closed the window accidentally, so I got to reset the window. Hold on a second. All right. Bum, ba, ba, ba. Okay. There we go. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I sense it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're back there. All right. Okay, any other questions? Okay. Get back to work, Douglas. No worries. You're welcome. Thank you. Let's see. Wow, we're just solid right at 33 viewers. Anyway, all right, so let me you can see the technical aspect of this, right? I'll make this smaller for now. When I'm talking about it, I can make it bigger. But you know, that's part of the process. I just recently I wrote a song and we kind of did it this way with, so he was sitting in a chair back there, and he was writing, artist was writing the melody, and I was kind of coming up with some chord ideas. He wanted something kind of piano based, so we came in here to do it, and just kind of started going from there. The thing what we came up with was pretty good, and I did the same thing where I took his melody and put it on an organ track so that we could kind of manipulate it, and then I could bounce the song with and without the organ, so he could practice singing it with just the piano, and then if he needed to be reminded what the melody was, he had the organ track there as well, and he could pull up that track, and then he had both, and that's really, really helpful if you're trying to learn a song, to be able to turn on and off the melody. And then, so that was, yeah, but we didn't get too deep into production. You know, I'm not a producer. I don't produce final products. I work with producers. So I work with people that actually, you know, get the, I wish I'd realized this when I was 20, but I'm a great starter and a lousy finisher. And I didn't realize that until I was in my 40s and 50s. And so I work with finishers. But the thing I do, the starting thing, they can't come up with sometimes. It's like, whatever it is that I come up with, the thing that I do, and whether it's, you know, a guitar hook or whatever, that seems to be my forte. So it's nice. My prayer for you is to discover your forte early in life so you can benefit from it. And many of you have. But that thing that you do. So, oh, no worries, Gary. You can lurk. You don't have to hit like. But if you want, you hit like and then unhit like and then hit it again so you can like it twice. You can, you know, that's what I do. If I really like a video, I'll unlike it and hit like it again. So it makes no sense. Nice. Let's see. So we're supposed to get rain here in a minute. I'm kind of keeping an eye on it because my trash cans are in the street, and if you leave your trash cans in the street, we're on a hill, so the water comes down and it sends the trash cans down the hill, and that's not good. Sometimes with the trash, and they just tip over, and the trash is everywhere. And then, fortunately, I'm not at the bottom of the hill. But what I'm trying to do is make sure that. And I haven't heard the trash truck show up yet. But what I'm trying to make sure is that I get out there as soon as the trash is empty, and because they'll be a lot less heavy then. And then as soon as they're empty, then I'll bring them inside. So you just hit like 30 times. Thank you, Gary. How many likes? Does it say how many likes? Do I have that? Oh, yeah, I have 40 likes. Well, Gary must have. Let's see. All right, so... oh, take care, Gary. Yeah, it's great to know your strengths. I'm assuming I'm in my strengths area. I mean, I don't know. I'm making a living at it. So very, very difficult to make a living in the music business. Very difficult. So unbelievable. So rare. A friend of mine who's a drummer, a session drummer, he says it's actually, there are more NFL quarterbacks you know, making a living than LA session drummers. You know, you would think all these records and movies and TV shows. Yeah, there's you know, there are 36 NFL teams and they each have 3 quarterbacks maybe. So you got 100 guys making, you know, minimum salary of $500,000, $600,000 a year. So you know, there's no way there's 100 drummers in LA making $600,000 a year. So it's crazy that that's not wrong. I should have tried. I should have gone to, you know, I would have been more successful or more likely to have success if I tried to be an NFL quarterback, which we all know how impossible that is. So that's why I, you know, it's for me still a marvel that I have a career at all. But you know, it's people like Suzanne who's probably not watching me anymore. But it's you know, opportunities and blessings like regular church jobs and guitar students that kept me in the game for as long as until it actually started to all kind of connect for me. So, what else is going on? Oh, you did post. Oh, Discord. I will take a listen, Gary. Okay. Yeah, please. So I've got the Discord link up there. Okay, right up here. Sorry. Well, I don't know where it is on the stream. The stream's over here, right? The chat is over here, right? So on the top of the chat, you can see the Discord link. You can join that, or just go to the Discord link to upload your songs. And thanks, Bruce. I will listen to them, and I will try to give you. You know, I'm not going to be mean. You know, if it's an awful song, I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to try to find something good. I like it. If what I say I like about the song is very, very, very specific, then you can probably assume that I didn't like the song. You know, I really like that one bass note in bar 72 and beat 3. That was an amazing bass note. You can assume. Hey, Austin Hall, this is awesome that you showed this. I'm definitely a subscriber now. Always looking to learn. Oh yeah, no, you learn a lot. I hope to learn, you know, and I really try to keep it in layman's terms. I know I'm going fast. The DAW thing, the digital audio workstation thing, is not something that most of you have any experience in. So I'm not assuming any knowledge of anything I'm doing, but I'm just showing you the process. And this is one process. Back in the day when I was writing full-on songs, okay, and when I say that, I mean melody, harmony, lyrics, and everything. I pretty much did it sitting on the sofa with a pad of paper and a guitar, and my wife usually in the room or in the kitchen making dinner or something, and she was kind of my tape recorder. If I sang a melody, she would remember it. She has a great memory. So I was like, how did this song go again? I start playing the chords and singing or saying the words, and she goes, oh, that's this one. So it was kind of like, it was all before a smartphone, so I didn't have a smartphone. I had a reel-to-reel, but it was a pain to go sit in there and turn on the mics and get everything going. And that there was a period of time where my studio was a desk with a control board and a reel-to-reel, and then a crib on one side and a crib on the other. So my studio hours times were very, very limited for a period of a couple of years. So, but usually it was just a pad, a book or notebook or something. And I've been singing you some of those songs. I mean, I really like. Oh, Madeline, I really like. That's the one that I sang it, and that's an old song. I mean, that Madeline I wrote in the '80s, I think. Well, there's a date on here, I think. Let me see. Oh, I got to click off the bass. Hold on a second. And it's out of my range. 1990. So the song is what, 22 years old? 20. And it's not. I wrote it for Beth, not me, so it's out of my range. But I think it's sometimes she likes what she sees in the mirror as she makes herself. Sometimes she wonders if she'd hate herself if she was someone else. Self-esteem and a basic dream, one day by hour by moment. Matter then has a chronic end. If it's for sale, she'll own it. So I was trying to write a story song and it was about a woman that was very rich and couldn't find love because she couldn't trust anybody. And I think it came from the notion, and anyone who's young and has dreams knows what I'm talking about. But I wanted to be a famous musician, or I wanted to be a famous songwriter, or I wanted to be I wanted to be the Beatles, all in one, right? And one of the things that occurs to you, and this is really silly, but one of the things that occurs to you is like, well, if I meet the love of my life before I'm rich and famous, then I know she loves me for me. But if I meet her after I'm rich and famous, then is she loving me for me or because I'm rich and famous, right? And so, I married Beth, and I'm not rich or famous, so she loves me for me. I've never been rich or famous, and so, okay, so I'm good, right? Well, but, in your head, you're thinking, okay, well, this scenario, and of course, when I wrote the song, I'd already been married. Already married to Beth, so we've already been married for 3 years, and I was writing the song for her to sing. But the notion was, or the premise for the song was, and it's probably what I started with. I wish I could remember. I don't write down what came first, the chicken or the egg. But the premise is, what is your life like? And I just watched yesterday, I watched True Story with Kevin Hart. I watched all 7 episodes yesterday. It was pretty good, but it gives you a real glimpse of what it must be like to be famous. And I, of course, working with Justin, I see it a lot. And I see how he, it's just really tough. Now, the nice thing about being within the studio, it's a very safe environment. So it's just me, him, Josh, and maybe that's it. Just the 3 of us working in the studio. And so it's a very, very safe environment, and we can all be ourselves. But it's difficult. So this song is, the premise is this woman is very wealthy. She inherited maybe a lot of money. She's an heiress, and she can't really find love or friendship or anything. She doesn't really trust anything. So that's where the lyric, and I really like lyrics, but the lyric was one of those things where rhyming wise, and we haven't really talked about lyrics too much, but the rhyming scheme on this was so complex. I mean, I painted myself in a corner, a literal literary corner. And so I start out, sometimes she likes what she sees in the mirror as she makes herself. Sometimes she wonders if she'd hate herself if she were someone else. Okay, so there's a rhyme, self, herself, and else, right? Then I sing, and then Beth is singing this, but self-esteem, an evasive dream, one day by hour by moment. And Madeline has a chronic in, if it's for sale, she'll own it. So now I've got a little short rhymes, and then followed by a long phrase rhyme, and then a short rhyme, and I'm sure there's English literature terms for these. I don't know what they are, so I don't know. Iambic pentameter or whatever, stuff like that. Is there some term for it? But I don't know what it is. But I love the rhyming scheme. I loved it, but I had to replicate it. And that's where it was like, oh, you're kidding. I got to do this again. So I get second verse. And then that was the thing. I should have gone to chorus right there, but I didn't. I went to another verse. So today, if I were writing a pop song, I probably would have gone to the chorus sooner. All right? The songwriting changes through the decades, very much so. All right? The Beatles song form, the AABA form, is not used. I use that as an example here for song form because it's the most famous one, AABA. But their A would be a verse and a chorus, and then another verse and chorus, then a bridge, and then probably a chorus, not necessarily a verse. And tell me something. That's the hook. And that chorus alone is groundbreaking in that it starts on the 4 chord, goes 4, 5, 6, 1, or 1, 6. Normally, in 1964, 63, 62, 61, very common to go 1, 6, 4, 5, not 4, 5, 1, 6. So they turned it around and made it a familiar chord progression. Again, the Beatles are freaking brilliant. I'm gonna do more videos on the Beatles because the one I did on the review of Get Back is actually doing really well. It's still getting lots of views, which is really cool. I'm glad. It was a very easy video to make. Basically, me talking for 30 minutes. But that's an A. That was the A right there, and then the B is when I touch, right, and that's leads you back into leads you into that. Back into the A section. So that was typical for the Beatles. Today, we don't write songs that way. But when I wrote this song in 1990, in the 80s, it was very common to do a double verse at the beginning. I listen to 80s songs, particularly like the new wave stuff, and I'm amazed at how long it takes. It may take 2.5 minutes before you get to the first chorus. Because the intros were a lot longer back then, too. This song, actually, I think, it starts with a vocal. Sometimes she likes. If I remember how we record this, Beth started it. So sometimes 1, 2, 3. Sometimes she likes what she sees and the rest. Makes herself. I gotta take deeper breaths. She like wonders if she'd hate herself if she was someone else. Self-esteem and a bliss of dream. By hour, by moment, no matter then as a chronic hit. If it's for sale, she'll own it. Okay, the second verse. In a 32-room mansion, she talks to her cat and says the poor are lucky, for they still think money can buy happiness. I love that lyric. So in her 32-room mansion, she talks to her cat and says, "The poor are lucky, for they still think money can buy happiness." That's a heavy, deep thought, you know. But it's true, and in some ways, the poorer people tend to be more happy than rich people. Rich people tend not to be very happy because they thought the riches were going to make them happy, and it didn't, and that kind of scares them. And they're like, "Oh no, now what's going to make me happy?" You know. I also think that's why rich people tend to be so impatient. Like if you're working, you know, I've worked in retail or something like that, and someone clearly with money shows up, and they have to wait in line, or you have to go in the back to get something. They get really impatient, right? Because the only thing that they have the same of as you is 24 hours in a day. So they can't buy more of that. They can have assistants that can do stuff for them, but ultimately they can't have more than we all have the same number of hours in a day. So. And then I do the rhyming scheme that got me in trouble again. So the cat replies with open eyes and fears that I'm not hearing. And that's the norm. She's kept warm by her wealth, and it is searing. So, in other words, she has nobody to keep her warm at night, and she's kept warm by her money, and it's searing. It's hot. It's burning her. So it's like serious nuance. Yeah, being rich can make some things easier, but that's for sure. But it doesn't necessarily guarantee happiness at all. So, you can go into the poorest parts of the world, and the kids there are much happier than the kids in America. They just are. If they have a tin can to kick around. They're like they can have fun with it. Like when we were kids, if you found something, hula hoop would entertain you for the whole day. Now it's like, it's insane. So I wasn't very happy as a kid. So, I mean, I had my moments. I'm officially out of coffee, which means we're going to have to end soon. But that's the verses. I had two verses, and it's kind of a verse and a pre-chorus, but then it doesn't go. So it's kind of a verse A, verse B, verse A, verse B kind of melodic movement, right? So that with the E minor, G, C, D, and then does that descending line. slowing the chord movement a little bit there. This melody I really like, but it's out of my range. But then it goes to a D chord. So the first verse starts on E minor. Song's in the key of G, 1 sharp, key of G. It starts on the 6th chord, and then the second half of the verse starts on the 4 chord, and the chorus starts on the 5 chord. I never start on the 1 chord, which is interesting. I just now noticed that. I didn't notice that until just now. Exactly, Dennis. I mean, this was rich. It was a rich subject to write about. So the chorus, in case you can't understand the lyrics, okay, and we're talking about lyrics now. In case you can't understand the lyrics, or she might say, "I'll fly away, and no one will take notice. Another man will kiss her hand. She'll know not love but motive." Oh, it's like, ouch! That's a painful lyric, right? And yet the melody I wrote for this is a happy melody. So I did that on purpose to kind of juxtapose this thing, and I was trying to make it. It was actually a really popular song when it was on our record and we performed it and stuff. The kids really liked this song. Their favorite song that I wrote was Hope Ann, and I could talk about that one too. I probably got that one somewhere. That was everybody's favorite song, and that's a great lyric too. I mean, if I may say so myself, I had zero success with any of these endeavors of songwriting when I wrote everything. And I'm not talking about when I'm talking about writing songwriting 101 or whatever. When I'm teaching songwriting, this is not have a hit record. This is just write songs. Because for every one song that's on the top of the charts, it's number one, there are literally a million songs created that don't go there. So you don't have to write a hit song. You don't even have to want to write a hit song, okay? I do. I want my son to. My problem is always, I was talking to my daughter's boyfriend, and my problem is always make the guitars too pretty, and they don't want to put beats on it and track and produce it out and make it a big slick arrangement and everything. They just want guitar and voice, and I'm like, yeah, but it's not going to be a hit if it's just guitar and voice. And then Ed Sheeran and Justin do this song, and I'm like, dang it, which was a lot like Home to Mama, which actually is a pretty big hit, but I don't make any money on it because we haven't settled the splits yet. So there's a bunch of money sitting around waiting to be distributed if I would accept 10% instead of the 30% that I deserve. Anyway, talk about that another time. Okay, so I don't know if that's why, but I'm assuming that's why. Nobody's ever asked me to take 10%, but Sony, who is not my publisher, assigned me 10%. It's like not their right to sign me 10%, and my publisher thinks I have 30%. So that's what yeah, collaboration is important. I had much more success collaborating than not. Okay, so here's the chorus. Pardon my vocal. I could sing it down an octave, but I'm going to try to. So I'll do falsetto, but so again, I'll sing the second half of the verse coming into the chorus. So the cat replies with open eyes and ears that are not hearing. As the dawn, she's kept warm by her well, and it is searing. And she might say I'll fly. Oh shoot. She might say I'll fly away, and no one will take notice. So high. Another man will kiss. Oh shoot. Another man will kiss her hand. She'll know not love but motive. Super simple. Just D, G, C, D. And so I could do it down and up. She might. Oh yeah. So she might say I'll fly away. No one will take notice. Now it's too low. Another man will kiss her hand. No, not love. But I love the melody there because what's happening is I'm singing the major seventh over the G, where Beth was. She might say I'll, which is beautiful. Fly away. Let's see. And no one again, I sing the major 7 over the C chord, which I love that 7th. Hey, Charlie B. She might say I'm going, no one will take notice. No one will kiss her. She'll know that love, but honor. Sorry, my singing is atrocious. And then it goes back to E minor. So it's, yeah, so that's, I love the melody on the song. I love the lyrics on the song. It's just a really good song, you know. And so I'm actually thinking about recording it and releasing it, re-releasing it with Beth singing it if we can get the right key for her and get a good vocal performance. Might have Alex record the vocals, Beth's vocals on that, because it's best that a husband does not produce a wife. Let's put it that way. Let's see. Yeah, these are newer songs here. Einstein, there's Einstein in Vegas. Just like I wrote a song called Einstein in Vegas, and this one was actually about trying to find the one person in the world that's meant for you. I don't really believe that there's one person. You know, not that I'm trying to say there should be multiple. Don't get me wrong. But it always makes me, you know, when somebody says their soulmate or whatever, they think, oh, there's only one person. They think there's only one person. They got to meet that person. Well, there's 7-8 billion people in this world. You're not gonna, if that person is in another country on the other side of the world, you're never gonna run into them. So you know, arranged marriages are almost 100% last divorce free. You know, where just the parents go, yeah, you and you put you together, whatever. And you know, in India, that's, you know, all the marriages are arranged. Not all of them, but you know, so many are arranged, and it's like, yeah, they're all, you know, they're fine. So I almost feel like you can just pair up and just go you and you and you and you and you and you. Okay, so but this song was written. This one song I wrote called Einstein in Vegas. The premise was kind of thinking like that, like there's only one person in this world for you, and I gotta find that person. And it's kind of wrong thinking, I think. But I said, like poetry in a phone book, a verse or two, maybe a rhyme, just letters on a page, hidden in space doing time, is the fragment of love and all the we's and us's can make in this fire encasing world upon which we wait. It's a pretty dark song. And then the chorus is, for the one we call true, is it learned or burned in stones, hearts, or shoes? Is it a matter of record or a matter of time to find the one you call mine? And it was based on a conversation we had with a friend who I actually introduced her to her husband, and they were married, and they were here for Christmas. We've been friends with them for 35 years. And their kids grew up with our kids, and, you know, Alex is in a band with their kid. But it was written based on conversations I had with her about finding the right person. How do you do that? And so the lyric, for the one we call true, is it learned or burned? In other words, is it something you can learn to love somebody, or is it something that's already predetermined? When I met Beth, did I learn to love her, or was it already love? You know, and I learned to love her. I don't think it's burned, but is it burned? If it's burned, is it burned in stone, or hearts, or shoes? And what I meant by shoes, so in stone, obviously, is it preordained, or is it burned in your heart? So you can someone burns their love in your heart and you love them, right? You love each other and boom, you're done. You're done. That's it, over. Okay. Or is it, hey, Dennis. Wait, Dennis. Oh, Kathy. Hey, Kathy. Sorry. Or is it burned in shoes? And what I meant by that is, in other words, you wear out shoes because you're doing the work, right? You're going out there and trying to find somebody, you know, whether it's download that app, you know, and go on dates and meet people. You know, the kids have done that, or the boys have done that. You know, it's difficult. So finding someone. So is it a matter of record or a matter of time? Is it preordained? You know, the soulmate thing, or is it a matter of time? Just a matter of time finding that person. You know, and a lot of times the time it's you that you have to mature. I was mature to a point. There was a time where I had no desire to get married or find that person, and then I hit a point, and it was like immediately I was like, yeah, no, I think I don't know that I'm mature enough to be married, but I now desire that, right? So so then the second verse is where the name of the song, Einstein in Vegas, comes from. Even Albert Einstein in Vegas has the same odds as you. Even in the lights and the glamour, you'll find the fortunes are few. Like the shouts of a ghost are the stakes and prizes past, and the stars of our tragedy which we cast, which is all the X's we have. We cast our own tragedy with all our ex relationships. And sometimes, so it's just, I love the lyric on this. And the song is funny because it's a very odd chord progression. So this song, that's the hook. So the hook is actually the guitar riff, I think. Kathy, I was a half hour late because I totally mixed up my days too. I totally forgot what day it was, and I didn't have my notifications turned on, so I didn't get the notifications. I usually, yeah, it's Sam. Get Back is so great. If you haven't seen my review of Get Back, you can watch it. Of course, I gave it 10 out of 10 stars. But you can watch my review of it. But you might want to watch it first because there are spoilers. But we all know the Beatles break up. So, but that's the hook. And see if I can remember the melody. I actually changed. See, oh yeah. The bridge for Beth again. Yeah, it's way out of my range. I wrote it in '92, and that's kind of my point. In in '92, you still had the influence of the '80s was carrying over, right? Like if you look at like fashion music of 1961, 62, it still had the influence of the 50s. 70, 71 still had the influence of the 60s. 80, 81 still had the influence of the 70s, and so on and so forth. So that even though that song was written in '92, I think that the melody is still very 80s, which is again a reason why I don't do a lot of top line writing anymore. I collaborate with young people that can write a more modern top line. I actually did say I did put spoiler alert AJ on the video because, and I was realizing, well, there's no spoilers. Everybody knows what happens with the Beatles, but it's still let's see. She ain't got no money. Her clothes are kind of funny. It's kind of wild. Free. Yeah. What song? Wait, Sam. What song is that? Oh, Watching It Back. Oh wow. Okay, so you've seen it 3 times. Yeah, it's great. I actually just put it on in the background and have it there. It just feels so. It just makes me happy. And the thing that's so amazing about it, and I talk about this in my video, is that in the second episode when Billy Preston becomes part of it, for some reason, and I'm sure this is true for everyone that is a musician because of the Beatles. I felt like I was invited to join the band. He gets invited. He's like, just sits down. They have him sit down and play. He was like, oh, okay, I'll play a song. And he's like smiling and so happy. He's like, it's so amazing. And he's doing his licks. Like on Get Back, he immediately does the licks that we hear later. He's like immediately there. And it just comes out of him naturally. It's how he plays. And Pee Wee Michiko at my church played with Billy Preston for years. The bass player and keyboard player in my church played for Billy Preston. They were friends with him for years. In fact, I think he even played keys at one of our. He was the keyboard player at one of our satellite campuses in my church. Isn't that funny? And they toured with Sly Stone for years too. They recorded his records and everything. So, um, but so I get to play with Pee Wee Michiko most weekends at my church, which is really fun. Um, but uh, we all kind of put ourselves in Billy's place when he's playing, and they ask him to join the Beatles or something. Like I almost felt like they were asking me to join the Beatles and become the fifth Beatle. It was like it just really did a great job. It looks like it was filmed yesterday. I mean, it did such a great job restoring the film. It was originally, everybody thought, was it colorized? No, it's not colorized. It is treated. They digitally. But that's your song. Is that your song, or whose song is that, Sam? Yeah, it's that's a great lyric, Sam. And that's a very 70s lyric, isn't it? That a very 60s, 70s lyric. If that's your lyric, it's a very 60s and 70s. It totally makes me think of that, which actually is cool. See, a lot of times in movies, when they're doing a throwback, they need music like that. So it's funny because they can find something. Hey, Andrew Gerard, what up? Merry Christmas. I'm looking good. Yeah, you think so? I have the facial hair so I don't look like an old woman, because whenever I shave off my beard, I look like an old woman. I look like I look like Kathy Bates. Oh, Edison Lighthouse. Oh, is that Gordon Lighthouse's brother? I don't know Edison Lighthouse. Oh, that's good. Andrew and I met through YouTube, right, Andrew? Andrew is what I would call, and I refer to him as a Renaissance man. And he's also one of those people that gets good at something really quick. I don't even know how you make your money, Andrew. To be honest, I think currently it's photography, but he is a world-class magician and magic creator. Yeah, I still look like an old woman. He's also a stand-up comic. He's an amazing shredder on the guitar. Like, he can shred more than I can, like better than I can. Like that whole shredding thing that I can't do because I just can't find any use for it. That nobody will hire me to do it, so I didn't retain it. We got to know each other because he started writing songs and releasing songs, so he hired me to play guitar on his songs. I don't know that did we ever write anything together? I don't think we ever wrote anything together. But Andrew's been here before, yeah. But I think he saw a video and he reached out to me, and that reminds me, I always have to check my Gmail account because that's the most likely, people can find my Gmail address very easy by just taking my handle on my YouTube channel, and well, I have the address there in there. So mostly what it is somebody sent me a Marco Polo. Mostly what it is business inquiries. I just got one today. Someone wanted me to be one of their teachers or something. Like, I'm not interested in being a teacher anymore. So, flag question 217. At 2:17, what does that mean? Oh, 2 hours and are we at 2 hours and 47 minutes already? No, we're not. Oh, flag question. I see. What about? Oh no, that's old. Gary, hey Tom, I posted a rough. Yeah, no, I got that. Oh, James. Okay, I just discovered you. I'm a mediocre campfire guitar player, but love playing. Have you done any commercial jingles? Thank you, Bruce. I'm sorry I didn't see that before. Yes, but none that you would know. Let's see. Have you done any commercial jingles? Yeah, I've only done a couple. It's a good gig if you can get it. It's a really small camp in LA, and jingle thing is a more of a Chicago thing. There's a lot more Chicago musicians getting jingles, like McDonald's and Coca-Cola. They do all their jingles there. I did one for a local pastrami chain called The Hat. And that was like one of my first sessions ever in LA. Oh, and Gary, I'm going to show you the Kumbas. I forgot. Okay, I see the Kumbas. I'll bring it down so you can see it. It's not tuned. I'll have to. Where's my tuner? Here's my tuner. I'll have to tune it. Yeah, but you'll be blown away by this instrument. And then I've got to go. Okay, it's getting late, and I've had to go to the bathroom for about an hour and a half because my coffee is empty and I'm not. And then I did. Oh gosh, it's probably been 7 or 8 years now. I did an IBM commercial, but it was like they had a bunch of people do a bunch of versions of who's that band from? Kind of an 80s, 90s band from Minneapolis. Femme Fatale? No. What's that band? Violent Femmes. They were one hit, and we did a gospel version of it, and so that ended up in the commercial. But it was like they had all of the songs like 30 seconds. They had 3 seconds of 10 different styles. So. So this is a fretless 12-string banjo, essentially, but not tuned like a banjo. Well, it's not too bad, actually. It's pretty darn close. So basically, this guy, his name is on it. It's Zeynel Abidine Kumbas. You can see that if I hold it still and try not to get any reflection on it. You can see his name, Zeynel Abidine Kumbas, and it just says that over and over again. It looks like something you would take to a campfire. Speaking of campfire, and make popcorn. It looks like a popcorn cooker, really. But after World War I, he wanted to start making something other than guns. So he turned his weapons manufacturing plant into he wanted to make something for peace. So he invented this instrument that would be kind of an everyman's oud. So it's supposed to be kind of a poor man's oud. I think I paid $200 for it. It wasn't expensive. But actually, the guy, the half-cut oud that I have, the guy that made that is the one that brought this to America for me. Hard to play chords on, but yeah, it's mostly for single notes. I've used it actually quite a bit. I used it on a Western thing that I thought sounded really. Because it definitely has a metallic sound, which I love. It's not as woody as an oud, so it's definitely got a different sound than an oud. I love this thing. It's really, and for the price, you can't beat it. Another weapon, you know, it's already paid for itself. It's sessionable, so. Yeah, so that's this is cool. This is an actual 60s Beatle bass. I could record that bass line now. Let's see. Okay, I'll add audio track. All right, let's get in tune. That's pretty close. Close enough. I'm not going to keep this, but let's just see what happens when I start to play. So what I said, remember I said I would probably do up an octave to start. Let me put this in record, and I'll go here. Oh. I won't come in right away. Yeah, this is actually Paul's, the one that got stolen. Imagine. No, see, I would wait. I would probably do this. Do something like G. I might do a descending thing. I forgot how it went. So yeah, ultimately on our song we'll probably put real bass on it, but it's fun to play that. It's real thuddy. It's a very, very dark bass. But I didn't even put an amp on it. That was just literally direct. But really, really fun to play. The hook is in there. I think there's a hook, yeah. And the hook might even be in that bass part somewhere. But the bass line I was playing was pretty stereotypical. But look at the beauty. This thing is in great shape. 60s, basically, Beatle bass. I think this is 66. Made in Germany. Made in West. It says West Germany. Western Germany, it says on it. Made in Western Germany. Alex had it. It was given to me and Alex, believe it or not. It was that bass was a gift to me and Alex, and someone at our church. And so Alex has had it for the last year. I got it. Yeah, descending those 4 descending G notes. I had it for a while, and he had it for a while, and I. Was the melody? Oh, the melody was there. So Andrew, we've been writing this song. I've been talking about songwriting, and so I was saying, hey, let's start writing a song, and I'll just talk you through the system of what I'm doing. Some songs just kind of write themselves, and you kind of get there and you do it. And Andrew's a really good songwriter. It totally sounds like Liverpool. And you can check out Andrew Gerard. If you Google his name, you can check out his videos, his songs on YouTube. But sometimes songs just kind of come and they're done. You write themselves, and other times you really have to work them. We're kind of doing a weird method where we're coming up with an A section and I'm playing it on piano, so we have it, and then we're writing the melody, and then we're going to, manipulate the melody maybe, and it's just another way to do it. It's not wrong, it's not right, it's just a way. And everybody's method is different. And sometimes I use this method for TV and film work all the time. I'm doing this when I'm working with Kelly Jekyll and we're writing songs together for a Lifetime movie or something like, or Hallmark or whatever. We're very formulaic in what we're, that melody, how about this melody? Try this one. Okay, let's try that. Oh, this is what I hear. And how about that lyric? Okay, that's not a good word. Let's replace that word. It's very crafted. But again, what I've always said is that art and that craft kind of come to a point where your mind knows this chord could work, let's try it, or this melody could work, and the art will tell you whether it does or not. So even if you think you're crafting a song and it's all mathematical, it's not. At some point, the math is going to hit the heart, and the math is going to hit the English. You think you're in math class, and you're really in English class. You think it's all head, and all of a sudden that you're like, well, if that doesn't work. Well, if something is telling you that chord or that melody or that lyric doesn't work, it's because your heart is telling you that. Your head would probably go, oh, it works fine. But your heart is going, yeah, no, it doesn't. It really doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't move me. It's got to move you, and that's how you get to the next section. And Andrew knows what I'm talking about, and it's like when you're writing a song, it's like it's got to inspire something. You have to be inspired to finish the song. If there's nothing there to inspire you, you're just going to put it away. I've got notebooks full of songs that I started, but they didn't inspire a finish. Somebody once said, finish every song. Was that John Lennon, I think, that said to Paul or something, to finish every song? I can't remember. Somewhere I heard that recently. And I maybe that's true. It certainly worked out for them. But I know there are songs that the Beatles did. In fact, in Get Back, they did One After 909 was a song they wrote in the 50s, 59, 60, So they wrote it and they never finished it to the point where they put it on a record. So yeah, you will try something, and that's kind of what I've been modeling here. Is like, oh, let's try this, let's try that, and we haven't really come up with a melody yet on that chorus on this part here. So that's like, I mean, I could. Melody-wise, I mean, see, I got all my white keys I can hit, and I could try to write a melody that way. It might work, but, it's... not bad, One of the things I liked about it, one of the things I did was, let me just look. Here's the first melody. Starts on the downbeat. I'm only listening to one beat. Listen to this. Here's the second melody. I started on a downbeat. So already I've got a trend that I need to break. Oh, let's go back to this window so you can see. Okay. Already I have a trend I need to break, and that is I'm starting the melody on one every time. No, so the chorus I start one, right? Now the nice thing about that melody is it's simple. It's a simple melody. The harmony could be, could do something like that, right? I could come up with a really interesting harmony to the melody. The melody may be boring, but if the harmony is interesting, that could be the hook, or that could be the momentum to propel this section into chorus stature. Because the chorus is going to have to be kind of the big moment in the song, generally, not always, but generally. Just listen to songs differently now. When you're listening to songs, listen to the verse, the chorus, and then also you might start to notice when songs are being crafted and when they are just being spontaneous. And a lot of times, man, it's like, oh yeah, I can hear they crafted. The Beatles were crafters, but they also they were just constantly trying to get that craft into art and the head into the heart, kind of thing. They were constantly battling internally, basically, those things when they were writing. So, all right, I'm going to take off. Next Monday, we're going to continue on this. I'm not going to do anything else with this song. I'm going to leave it until I'll pick it up and I'll go, oh, yeah, that's what we did. So I'm going to keep that melody, though, just for reference, okay? Anyway, everybody, so thank you so much. Thank you for the financial love, everyone. I think it was Kathy Short, I think it was, and Lena, God bless you. Somebody else, too. I'm trying to remember who it was. But anyway, we did pretty good. We had our peak. We peaked at like 40. Early on, we peaked at 42. That's not bad. We held firm in the 30s, so I'm pretty impressed with you guys. And I'm sorry I was late, but maybe that's why we did so well. Anyway, God bless you all. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.